Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Last time we left you, we had just had a pretty nasty accident and totaled our rig. So we wanted to pop in here and give you a real-time update and just kind of what we had going on then, what's gone on since, and what we are looking at doing here in the upcoming weeks.
We just want to start off by saying that we are so thankful for all the prayers and the emails and the comments, the positive comments that have come in to between the channel, email, phone calls, texts from those that know us personally. Just, oh my gosh, the outpouring of love and concern for our well-being, for our dogs, for how we're doing, how we've been, all that stuff. It's been a whirlwind of activity.
It has.
We have welcome to the channel for all of our new subscribers.
Yep, thank you for subscribing.
We never ever meant to grow this way.
No.
That was never
Somebody did comment, that's a bad way to get content.
Bad way to
it was
get
definitely
content.
not the right way to get content.
And
but
we had a lot. And one of the other things I wasn't expecting was to become, overnight, we became the most hated people on YouTube.
In some aspects.
In the RV
Maybe.
space. We became, well, especially me. I don't know what I did that made people hate on me so bad. It's been rough. That's a part of YouTube that you know in your head going in, but the heart is a different matter. And when the hateful comments just started pouring in, I mean, they were spirit crushing.
Yeah.
And they also, number one, we are not horrible people. We're really not. And if you just give us a chance to get to know us, you'll hopefully see that in the way we live. And by our example, we never meant to put anyone else's life at risk by being on the road in such bad weather. We fully admit it was a poor choice. We know that. We own that. Thank God no one else was on the road next to us, with us, but there were a lot of other people on the road that day.
Yeah.
So not everybody can always do what everybody else thinks they should do. And that's one of the hard things. One of the best, I would say one of the greatest pieces of advice that we got that went into the head when we were planning on becoming YouTubers, or at least dabbling in the YouTube world, was that one of the things you have to make peace with if you're going to be a content creator is making peace with being misunderstood by a lot of people that just, they want to assume the worst of you, or they think you're crazy, or they think you're evil or hateful.
You got those drive-by haters that see one video, throw some nasty comments out there.
And I so bad want to be one of those people that doesn't take that stuff to heart, that's able to go, you know what, you just keep hating on us because that just helps our algorithm. But oh man, it hurt. And it was really, I had a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We really strongly considered quitting this altogether, to stopping the YouTube thing.
We didn't want our channel to be like a big divisive.
We never ever want our content to be something that fuels anger and hate inside others. Even if we aren't hateful, we don't want it to make other people be hateful. We have enough issues in our world. We are not inciters.
Right.
We're not people that incite riots and anger and debates, and that's not who we are, and it's not who we want to be, and it's definitely not what Spur of the Moment is. And we're not going to give that. Our channel is not going to be a platform for that. We want to be encouraging, uplifting. We want to be something you can watch with your kids and do with your family on a, however long our videos are.
Right.
So we are
sharing.
We are sharing. So we understand that's part of the journey.
And part of that is we share the mistakes that we make, because we've been doing the full-time thing for 8 months now. 9 months now.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. But we have made mistakes. We're going to continue to make mistakes.
Yeah. And we're going to share them with you, because that's what we started doing. We want to be able to reach people and to touch people's lives the way that so many of our favorite RVers have touched us.
And we don't have perfect equipment.
No.
We don't have perfect anything. So we do what we can with what we have. And
we don't have perfect brains.
And sometimes stuff breaks.
And this will shock all of our haters out there that were like, you had no business. You were way too big of a trailer for your half ton.
Yeah.
We're not completely idiotic.
We've done a lot of research, and we did a lot of math, and we did a lot of weighing, and
there will be people that will
scales.
disagree with us, but we knew what we were towing.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is we shouldn't have been on the road. In those conditions.
And we've learned. That
and
the roads can be clear.
If we upset anybody, it was never our hearts were never to hurt anybody. And if you were offended by our content, please forgive us. We never meant to do that. One of another big hater comments was about our dogs.
Oh yeah. Kylo in the video
he was whining and
panting pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But that he does that no matter what.
We could
whenever
wreck,
we
or
start
we could
going,
be sitting on a cloud
he's always
sailing, and he's going to be antsy. He's an anxious dog. He's on medication for it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, after our wreck, it had been so many hours since his pre-travel day med, and he was done. And it was wearing off, and he just is an anxious separation anxiety dog. So if Levi's not in the truck at the same time the dogs and I are, but again, explaining all this is we're just going to have to make peace with being misunderstood. But we love our baby dogs. We would never hurt our fur babies on purpose or do anything to stress them out. We're not perfect. That is going to be evident if you hang out with us for very long.
But the puppies are good.
It will encourage you that it's okay to not be perfect. But we've learned, we've taken to heart everything that's been said, some things very deeply to heart to the point of, I didn't want to do this anymore. It took a lot for me to even come on video right now. I just wanted to quit the channel and just stop. And it's just hard. But we're not asking nobody's invited to our pity party. That's not what this is.
But in the future, let's try to keep the comments positive.
And we did have to disable them because it just didn't stop. We were going on, days and days and days of just non-stop hate.
A lot of positives, but a lot of negatives
so thank you if you were one of the ones that was positive. That meant a lot to us, and we needed that. And also thank you to the people that were hateful, because it helped us to learn and evaluate if we really wanted to keep doing this. And so everything plays a role, but just for further, we're not gonna, we disabled the comments after a while. And for those positive ones, they meant a lot to us, and we needed that encouragement. One of the worst things that's ever happened to us happened that day. One of the scariest things, and putting anybody else in harm's way was never intentional. And
at the end of the day, whether nice, whether bad, accidents can happen. And the fact of the matter is that when you're living in your rig and you're in a nasty accident, whether it's a wind blows you over or, weather or any kind of accident, your home is on the side of the road. And your stuff is spread all over the place. So it's pretty devastating. But you just have to pick up the pieces and keep trying to move forward and move on. So a little update on what we got going on. We spent about a week with the rig at the Loves. We towed it.
Crazy.
We drug it across the field. Half of it was dragging on the ground. But they said, if you can drag it across the field, you can pull it over there to the Loves. So some information that we'll share on the process. We have Roadside. But when you wreck a rig, Roadside doesn't cover that. They cover a flat tire, a dead battery, things like that. We contacted the insurance company, took a bunch of pictures. They contacted us really quick and basically said, it's going to be totaled. So we'll be in touch with you or somebody to come and pick it up. That took a week.
It did.
So
Love's store 851. And right outside, it's like, was it Monroe City? Right outside of Rockford, Illinois, south of Rockford on State Route 39 in Illinois.
Monroe Center.
That was it.
Monroe Center.
Not Monroe City. Monroe Center. But they were so good to us. They let us keep the rig there without, they were so kind. And insurance, now there was some inclement weather that continued for several days, and it was bitterly cold. I mean, we're talking like the kind of cold that hurts after about 2 seconds being outside. Yeah, it was cold, like -20. So in that week, between me and my father-in-law,
we went back out there and back out there and back out there and
trying to salvage things.
Just tried to get everything personal out.
If we could.
Yeah.
We weren't able to get everything, but we did do as much as we could. And then we have been just in a waiting game.
Yep.
Claims have been filed. The truck is a separate policy than the rig, different companies. And so we have had, some back and forth. Our car insurance company has been pretty quick on the draw, but again, parts have to be ordered and things like that. But our truck was still drivable, praise the Lord.
Yep.
So we were able to, Levi's been back and forth to Ohio multiple times to work.
Yep.
And I've stayed here at my mom and dad's in Illinois, been able to spend some time with them, and my dogs are really happy here. They have a fenced-in backyard to play in.
We'll show some footage of that. They're happy and healthy.
And Granny spoils them. Yeah. She feeds them. She makes them eggs every day. They just love her, and she feeds them pretty well. So they're doing really well.
Yep.
Probably gaining some weight.
Right.
But they're doing well, and we've just been waiting on that. The truck goes in next week.
Yep.
And it's going to be about 2 weeks that we're going to be without the truck. We did settle with our insurance company for a figure for our rig, and it's going to propel us towards the next rig.
Yep.
And stay tuned for that. We can't wait we'll share all that with you guys.
Yep.
One of the things that we shared that got a lot of the hater comments coming was that we had our GoPro out at the wreck site.
Not right away.
It was not right away, and that was because of insurance purposes that we got the GoPro out.
Yep.
So we could have better footage to send to our insurance company, and it was perceived that that's all we cared about doing was getting our YouTube
that really
wasn't support,
really wasn't on our radar until the cop that was there said, "Oh, well, you need to take some footage.
Take some footage if you have on your cell phone."
I said, "Oh, I got a GoPro."
He's like,
"Oh, yeah, you should film, definitely." So I'm like, we might as well. We were all right. We already knew that we were okay. The dogs were okay.
We knew that nobody else was involved.
Yeah.
I mean, we were way past that by the time that we got the GoPro out. But again, we just have to be okay with being misunderstood. People were just up in arms with us that all you cared about was getting good content for your channel. That was the last thing on our minds until we were in a waiting game with the policeman, and he was like, "You need to grab your cell phone, and if you've got battery and you've got some life, take some footage." A lot of people do that. It's easier to give that a good walk around, and it really helps for your records. And we were like, "Oh, we can do one better. We have our GoPro."
Yeah. So and we weren't even sure if we were even going to put that out.
We weren't.
But for the people that have been following us, it's like, oh, what, they want to know what happened. And so we're like, well, we'll put a little short video out there. And it was sad because
I can't watch it.
Basically the home we've had for the last 9 months that we loved.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to be in anymore. No. So, like I said, we don't know what we're going into next.
Nope.
But we'll share that.
We have decided that we're going to keep going.
Yep.
We weren't sure if we were going to keep RVing. When are we going to get back on the road? The good Lord only knows. What are we going to be on the road in? The Lord only knows. Yep. But we would love for you to stay with us. Keep following along. Keep the prayers coming, because it's still a little bit of a difficult time for us, as well as just the unknown and what's next in the waiting game and the financial side of it, and trying to figure out what we can afford and can replace and things like that. But we're going to figure it out.
Yeah. Because right now, when you're full-timing in your RV and you have an accident in it, you're homeless.
So again, if you are new to our channel, we are so thankful that you're here.
We are.
We are so sorry you found us the way you did, with something that was a tragic situation, but it was also a great way for us to witness that we are firm believers in God and His protection over us, and that we hope that you're blessed a little bit by how crazy we are. And if you're not, feel free to keep the comments on the quiet and keep scrolling. But for those of you that would like to be a part of our journey, we are so blessed to have you, and we'd love for you to stick with us, and we will keep you posted on what's next for Spur of the Moment.
So a little update on the truck. You can see kind of where I jackknifed it here. Crumpled the back bumper a little bit, went and got an estimate and everything, and they're gonna fix it. Trashed the cover pretty good, so I got some nice bungee cord action going on. Little makeshift tail light going on there, but yeah, not too much crazy damage. Like I said, I got some bungee cords just holding the cover down. Tore up my running board pretty good. I think that was just from hitting the ground at the bottom of the hill. So plan is taking it into the shop here in about a week, and they'll have it for a couple weeks and then get it back to us good as new. So that is the plan right now. I'm getting ready to head back to Ohio for work, leaving Mandy and the dogs here in Rockford at her mom and dad's. So that is the plan we got going on right now.
You're leaving, aren't you?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Oh, why do you always gotta? I hate it when he leaves. I really do actually hate it. I'm not meaning to make a joke. This is one of the hardest things about this
Back and forth
interim situation while we're figuring stuff out and out of the rig.
Yeah.
I love you. Be safe, okay? Kylo and Ray and I'll miss you. Bye.
All right, stay tuned.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.